Good evening, everyone. We are so excited to have you with us and to join us for our Bible study today. And today's a special one. It's exciting. We're going to be speaking about marriage, and speaking about it is particularly young marriage, where you've just recently got married and you're trying to kind of figure out the ropes, or maybe you are thinking of getting married, and this will still be very useful for yourself. And also, just maybe you are just considering the idea, you might not even have someone in particular, but how does marriage work? So then this is definitely for you. Stay tuned, stay focused. It's going to be amazing. We've got the lovely Pastor Letty here, who's going to be teaching us some great things. I'm going to be asking questions, and I'm sure she's got some great stuff ready for us. So I'm excited. So let's get right into it. How are you doing, Pastor Letty?
I'm doing very well, Pastor Charles. Thank you so much. This is a fantastic opportunity to be here to talk about a wonderful thing called marriage. So I'm excited to be here, and I hope our viewers, you are excited and expectant to hear from us this evening. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to definitely have you, and I think it's always good you have people that are experienced in whatever subject it is that is being spoken about. So I just give us a little bit, just a small, brief background. So how long you've been married, and give us a little bit of the young first few years and how those were like for you.
Wow. I've been married for many years, for 25 years,
Wow.
going into the 26th year. And
incredible. Wow.
And it has been a wonderful union with my husband. And I'm just going to share a little bit of our journey, really, which was not as smooth as people would think marriage is. Marriage is not as smooth as people think. It's all roses and glitters and all sorts of things that are nice chocolates, roses. And so we have had some up and downs, and we thank God that when you put God in the marriage, that is the only way forward in marriages, because it is a challenge. It is not an easy thing. It's just to remember, it's two people coming with different minds coming together. So so it has been a challenge, really, and we thank God that we are this far now, and now it's getting better and better as we grow older.
Wow, that's amazing. 25 years and it's still getting better. That is awesome. I love that. And you pick on something there that I really like, and I think that's sort of the basis of what we want to look at today, because I'm sure deep down all of us want to get married, and we kind of know all the good things we want, but realistically, when we come into it, there's a lot of challenges, there's a lot of things that we struggle with, that sometimes we may have not had the help or let alone the advice on how to deal with before. So I want to start with some of the things that I personally, when I was going into marriage, and some of the questions that my friends have had as well, that have kind of been like the big topics and the big challenges. And, I'm hoping that your 25 years of expertise will come into hand, as well as your pastoral experience. So let's talk money and finances. That's, one of the biggest things that I think sort of, coming into marriage and how you deal with it. So my question would be, okay, so now we're married, and how would you advise on me and my partner handling finances? Like, is there a strategy? I mean, is there a biblical one? I mean, how do we deal with money?
As you have said, Pastor Charles, there, that money is a big problem that affects most of the marriages.
Yeah.
I thank God that has not been an issue in my marriage, and so I'll speak from my experience, because I have not had any problems with that. So maybe my experience might be an answer to someone. Yes. The word of God tells us that you live and cleave. You live and cleave.
Wow.
So when you live and cleave, it's no longer you as an individual. It's no longer your mind only. It's no longer about you only. It's now two minds brought together.
Okay.
And the Bible tells us that the two that are joined together become one.
Right.
So
Okay.
now it's a matter of learning to have one mind.
Right. Yeah.
One mind. Um, Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. The simplest way to tackle this issue of money is it for each and every part, like the two parties,
Right.
to get into marriage with an open mind, without that reservation to say, I want to achieve this by myself, or
Right.
you are not looking at the future together.
Okay.
Yeah, when you come in with the two minds, like I come in with my mind that I got things that I want to achieve, and
Right.
my
Yes.
husband has got his own agendas, then in that way, to deal with finances, it can be something that is so difficult, because I have my own and he has his own. And
Right.
without us coming to the common ground to see what you want to achieve as one, not as individuals.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
starts from being one rather than being two people.
Word. Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So I don't know if you are with me there, Pastor Charles.
Yes. Yes. I like that. It starts from, I think, the mindset, exactly what you say there, that we have to come into it to be one.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely new. I've heard, obviously, the leaving and the cleaving. I've always heard it, but I think to be taught that you go into marriage with the mindset that we have to become one mind, I think that's definitely new to me, because I think from what I've always heard or experienced, it's always been, you're trying to come in and help the other person understand you, and you're trying to understand the other person. And now, while that's definitely good advice, I think I personally went into it with that mindset of, well, my wife needs to understand me, and I think she also she needs to understand, so he needs to understand me. But from what I'm hearing, what you're saying here, which is quite profound, that if we come in to say we need to come in and become one mind, everything that we're going to be doing is going to be centralized on, we both have a shared goal to actually create what becomes our family culture, as opposed to, well, this is what I know and this is what I know. So that's definitely fantastic. So diving deep into that, so both me and my wife have come into this marriage, and we've decided, okay, we want to now be one mind. What are these strategies? What can you advise? Imagine we're both sat here and we're like, okay, look, we're here, we want to be one mind, but we're not understanding, how do we,
You don't know understand, yeah,
how do we become one mind?
Yeah. In that aspect, the best way and the effective way is for both parties. As I
Right.
said, you come as one. So there is a lot to let go. There
Right.
is
Yeah.
a lot to learn. So
Right.
you are learning something new, and you are letting go the norm that you are used to.
Yeah.
So you are giving and you are taking. You are not just coming to take. You have to give away yourself as well. Give
Right.
away the things, or you have to compromise. Maybe that's the easy way to use. To compromise. In compromising, it's like you are leaving the things that you like most, or
Yeah.
the ways that you like to do things, and come to a common ground with your partner. So in that, I think communication is the key.
Okay.
Communication is the key. So when you communicate, you bring your ideas together, you bring your goals together, and then you come to a place where you agree on what you want to do together.
Nice.
So
Yes.
which means, if I had a dream of buying a mansion in 5 years' time, and
Yeah.
maybe my partner has got a dream of maybe raising um, maybe saving some money to do something, or maybe to start a project.
Correct.
So now
Yes.
you come to a common ground and think, what do we need to achieve maybe in 5 years?
Yes.
What do we need to achieve in 10 years?
Hmm.
Short-term goals, long-term goals, and then you compromise. So it's not about you only, it's about both of you as one now, as a family. So
Wow.
it takes a lot of giving in and a lot of compromising there and
No, that,
communication. Yeah.
wow, wow. I like that already. And I like the part where you speak of about compromising, because you made me remember back when I was school, you always heard that there's no I in team. And I think you just kind of brought that for me in terms of marriage, that actually there is no I in marriage, because you constantly were using the word we, as you were saying that, you guys need to speak as, what are we doing with our finances? What is our 5-year plan? So I think that's definitely a big one, is all there for me. I'll take that away to say, I need to change, how I view things and how I speak, and to use the word we, even in regards to finances. So now I want to sort of reel it in, before I move on to my next question, more about finances. So I've understood communication. So now we've got communication, we've become one mind. And then I'm reading books. So some of us like to read books, some of us like to, maybe listen to different people on podcasts. And there's always, 20 ways of doing this and 10 strategies in doing this. And now I've been to places where I've heard the finances should be handled that, the woman, the man goes to work, or, even if it's both of you working, you give all the money to the woman because she's the one who runs the household, and she does that. And that's how the household works. I've heard of, we do joint bank accounts, and then, you put in all the money for the bills once the bills are paid, and then we put maybe £200-300 each for savings. Then the other is basically your own money to kind of deal with. So what I'm basically trying to say is, I've heard so many different ways of dealing with it. Is there one that you found that is good, or is it actually that maybe not all of these are good, but you kind of have to make your own up? Like, what is your definitive answer? How do we actually, pen paper, make the funds work in the household?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I will answer it from my own experience, because I don't know any other.
Okay, no, that's fine. And we love your
I don't
experience
know
has done
any other
25 years, so
ways.
trust me, it's good
Yeah.
experience.
Yes, because when I hear people talking about my husband is paying the mortgage and I'm paying the car, to me it's like something strange, because I have never experienced it, not only in my marriage, but also from my parents, where I was raised. I only knew them doing things together, and mainly, as you mentioned, my mom used to do everything. My father used to work abroad, farm, no, not in the local area. So my mom used
Right.
to go and get his pay, and she would do things. And I remember my mom, one day, my dad's car came home, and my mom just said to her, I just want you to take me somewhere. And then they went. My dad has not been there for about 6 months. And then
Wow.
they came driving a car. And my dad was so surprised. I said, but why are you surprised? We're young. Why
Yeah.
are you surprised? I said, your mom surprised me. I never knew that she was saving that much to surprise us with
Wow.
the family car. So my mom used to take the money and save the money, pay the bills, pay our fees and
Well,
everything. And she kept money aside. And she even went to an extent of searching for cars, look for a car. Dad
wow.
comes home over the weekend, and there
That's
is a
amazing.
surprise. So I just grew up with that mindset that that is the normal to me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I came into marriage, I thank God that my husband grew up as well in that same environment, whereby mom used to take care of everything. So when it comes to finances in our marriage here,
Hmm.
we have a joint account. I have a personal account, but my personal account is open for my husband to see what is going on.
Yes.
I don't do anything, privately. We do things together. And I know one thing, maybe you were going to ask me this thing about finances, is to do with the extended families.
Yes.
I don't know
That
if
was my
we're going
next
to ask
question.
me.
You're reading my notes.
Yes. So So when you are doing things together, then when
Excuses there for a second. I believe Pastor Letty's mic is muted accidentally. Hopefully, she'll be able to catch this in a second.
the needs in his family.
Okay. Sorry, Pastor Letty, we missed quite a bit of that. Your mic went muted there.
Oh, it did it. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
No,
I
it's
think
okay.
maybe there was a phone call coming through, so that is the reason why I do apologize.
No, that's completely fine. I'll tell you where we were. So you were basically speaking more about the extended families, and yeah, that's where we sort of lost you.
Yes. Yeah, so what I was saying is with extended families, it's a matter of, maybe I'll give the example that I gave to say you, Charles, you might have had your siblings that were depending on you and your parents depending on you. And then your wife comes in, the parents and the family, they are well-to-do. They don't even need any support from you guys.
Yeah.
And now it takes your wife to understand you as one, that these are our family now. These are our loved ones, and they are looking up to us.
Yes.
So then it won't be difficult for you to think, why do we have to look after your parents every time? And mine, we don't have, or we have to give mine even though they don't even need. So those things, there are things that you need to be able to, when you are one, which means your parents are my parents. So we are looking at them as our parents.
Yes.
So there is no division there. It takes, I don't know, it can take a bit of hard work and compromise and sacrifice to come to that, to understand that. But that is the way forward, really. Make sure that there is transparency. My money, there is no my money. What I work for, if there's a joint account, it goes there, and then it covers the needs of a family as a family. So there is no how much he has got saved, how much I have. That language has never existed in my marriage. So I thank God that it all went the way I grew up and the way I knew things. So nothing new was introduced in terms of finances.
Wow, God has definitely been good to you. And it is amazing that you went into the next question that I wanted to ask, which is extended families. And because I believe, you could, come into a situation where you marry and, the other person's parents are definitely more requesting in terms of financial support, where the other side could completely be, financially free there. So, I mean, you've already tapped it into a little bit, but I just want to know a little bit more in regards to kind of maybe conflict resolution to that. I mean, is there I give my parents, more money because they have a need and we give yours less, or actually we don't give anything to your parents because they don't have a need, and yet we give my parents or as much as we can because they have a need. I mean, basically, do we make it 50-50, or is it based on per need? How would you recommend sort of going around that? Bear in mind, it's quite sensitive because I'm caring about my parents and she's caring about her parents. Now, we hear you say that it is one, but at some point you start to think, is my parents feeling any sort of, gratitude from them, raising me up? If we were to say, well, we're going to focus on the half parents because they're the ones who need the help.
Yeah, when it comes to that, parents, they are parents. Whether they are well-to-do, whether they are not, they are parents. That is one different thing than needs. So I want to split these things in two.
Right.
The needs, meeting the needs, and honoring parents as parents.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So when it comes to honoring parents, whether they have or whether they don't have, the parents need to be honored by you as a family,
Wow.
appreciating, just
Right.
loving them. Whether they've got Bentleys, that birthday card, or that £100 to
£10. Yeah.
windows to go and eat. It
That's
shows them
amazing.
that you love them. It's an
Yes.
appreciation. They are your parents. They don't cease to be parents because they have.
Wow.
So there is something that you need to just be part of your life, to say, this week we just want to spoil mom and dad. You are not saying that, you're saying mom 50 there, that side 50. You may do it separate times.
Right.
It could be a birthday, it could be something that you just want to appreciate, the anniversary. That one is different from meeting the needs.
Right. Wow.
So now when meeting the needs, now it's now you take them as your children
Right.
who
Okay.
has certain needs. So your parents, two parents, and your wife's parents, you have got 4 children there. So now, if one child's jacket so one of the child needs a new jacket, do you have to buy all of them 4 jackets?
Wow, that's profound. I like that. Yes.
You don't have to, yes. So that is not to do with needs. There is a roof that needs to be fixed in Zimbabwe. The roof has gone down, or the tap needs to be fixed. You don't have to say, let's ask your mom if they need a tap fixed. No, that is a specific need. So that need comes to you as their children, to say there is a need, we need to put a borehole, or there is a need to repair the car. So if it's for you, child's parents, you do it at that time because there is a need at that time.
Yes.
But then when it comes to parents, they remain parents, whether they have or they don't. You can give them, bless them, love them.
Wow.
So it needs the two of you to sit down and look at the needs, bring them to your table, and see what you can do about those needs.
Wow. Wow. You've got me speechless on that one. That was explained so well. I mean, it just but shows how you've made it to this 25 years, because I had never thought of it in a million years the way you've explained it. Because I think naturally, from what I've heard and even experienced, it's just always kind of felt that we've got the parents that you kind of look after, but you might have to do 50-50, or you kind of have to come to a compromise. But to split the situations into two right there, to make it, okay, look, we're honoring our parents, and therefore we can honor even at different times. Then on top of that, we're going to be honoring, and so we're going to be meeting that where there is a need. That's amazing, because, for example, I've got 2 kids, but at the moment, the one that needs the clothes the most is the youngest one, who's currently still jumping. Every 3 months she needs new clothes. Whereas my 4-year-old, I can get him clothes once every year, and he's now kind of, growing slowly and slowly. And I don't have to buy him clothes every time I buy my daughter clothes. So that was amazing. So thank you very much. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who are probably going to be watching this thinking, wow, that is a gem. But, I'm here to pick on you today. I'm not meant to make this any easier. So the next question is going to be, you said the word mum, and that is a fantastic word that is great in marriage, but it can also bring some questions and some, I'm trying to find the right word here without getting into trouble, because both my wife and my mama will be listening to this. So let's say aggravations. A daughter-in-law, mother-in-law relationship. That's often quite a big thing, especially in young marriage. And a lot of sons obviously are attached to their mothers, and the mothers want their sons to be treated a certain way, and they want what they've learned, what the cultures that they've brought them up in their households to be, transferred into their son's new household. The daughter is also trying to do her own thing, the daughter-in-law, that is. And there's a bit of friction, and now there comes this tug on the son, because his mother is saying, well, you need to, put the foot down. This is your house. You're the man, and, your wife shouldn't be doing this. And your wife is telling you your mom's always in our space. She's always in our face doing this. How does one deal with such a complicated matter? Because you love both your parents and you love your wife.
Oh, you are right there, my son. I'll call you my son there. Yes, yes. You are very, very right. Now I just want to speak to the mother-in-laws. Now, I
Yeah.
just want to leave this young married couple to the mother-in-laws. I think the expectation that most of the mother-in-laws, they are too high for their children.
Right.
But the one thing, most of them, not all of them, they are
Okay.
fantastic mom-in-laws. They're very fantastic, good relationship with their daughter-in-laws,
Right.
fantastic. But their expectation, they can be a little bit high. And also,
Yes.
especially those in marriage, they forget that they are also in-laws, daughter-in-laws.
Yes.
So the way you want to treat that daughter-in-law, before you even go there, think about yourself with your
Right.
mother-in-law.
Right.
Have you done what you are expecting your daughter-in-law to do to you?
Wow.
Are you fulfilling your duties as a daughter-in-law? Because, of course, for you to have that child, that male child, that child he has got a father who was given birth to a mother as well. So
Yes.
you are a daughter-in-law as well. So I am a daughter-in-law. So I don't expect Brian's wife to do what I have not done myself. What
Right.
is not
Wow.
doable.
Yes.
Yes, what is not doable. So this is mainly the mother-in-laws who is a big, big problem on this. It's not to do with the son who is married, because honestly, when we look at these young men who are starting their own families, people, they give them a lot of hard time, especially the moms. Hard times. They can't detach. They can't let go. They are holding on to that boy. The love is too much. They think that wife cannot give him the love that they can give. Yes, I'm not saying all the mother-in-law. So listen to me, guys. They're our viewers. I don't say Pastor Letty was picking on the mother-in-laws, but I just want to give us to help each other here. I'm not yet a mother-in-law, but I pray that when my daughter-in-law comes, I will treat her the same way I treated my mother-in-law, because what goes around comes around. If I am rough to my mother-in-law, or I did not even look after her, why am I expecting my son to look after me more than anything else? So most of these things, they are from how we learn. We learn these attitudes.
Yes.
Yeah, we learn these attitudes. So like now, your wife, the way she is treated by your mom, when your son gets married, you see she'll give that love, because that is what she has seen. She was welcomed well. She was appreciated. So she will appreciate. But most of the people who suffer these things is because of their background. But anyway, there is nothing that cannot be changed. We learn every day. We learn every day. Let the children enjoy their lives. Let them be, themselves. Let them be themselves. So to the couples now, I'm not giving you wings to fly to say, yeah, leave us alone.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of mother-in-laws are already getting text messages. I hope you're watching the Bible study.
Exactly. I'm not giving you wings to fly. Your attitudes as well can also make things bit difficult for you. If I come to a marriage and I am coming as someone who is taking someone away from their family, then in that way you provoke people to be jealous.
Right.
Thinking, so she's coming to split us. So now we have to hold on to Charles, because if we don't hold this girl, she will take him away from us. If I come, I'm talking now to the daughter-in-laws. When you come to a family, be someone who is coming to bring love, unity, not to separate.
Amen.
Whether your mother-in-law can be someone who is tough or bad, that alone can change the situation.
Yes.
Can change your mindset. Even if she wanted to fight you, she will start to love you. She will start to be there for you. She will start to be supportive to your family. But when you come with that arrogance, behavior and attitude, then that will make things well. So daughters-in-law, approach these in-laws with love, respect, honor them. They've, raised your husband.
Yes.
They've raised your husband. My husband is my mom's best friend. My mom loves him. when he counts his children, he counts my husband as one of his own children.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that is the how things should be.
Mm.
Now I'm talking again up to you guys, youngsters, you know, when you come, remember that the mother-in-laws and the in-laws, they expect, you know, especially in our African culture, they
Yes.
expect you guys to be there for them, to appreciate them for the daughter that the wife that they've given you. So
Right.
when you approach them with respect, with love, like we're saying, take care of them, be
Yes.
there for them. Don't do as if you have come to take away their daughter from them. You are coming to separate and split the family. So when we all take our part, the in-laws, the son-in-laws, the daughter-in-laws, the mother and father-in-law, then you find everything in place.
Awesome. Awesome. I like it. And as you mentioned right there, that you are seen as, your mother-in-law's very own daughter. Now, we've just had a question on Facebook that has come for you. I know I was interviewing you, but it looks like Facebook is on to you as well, and they want to know. And they've asked a question that they've said, what are the duties of a daughter-in-law?
To the in-laws.
Correct, yes.
I think, let me answer it this way.
Okay.
The daughter-in-law's duties are to fulfill the duties that the son would have fulfilled in the family.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to be like their son in the family.
Mm.
Yeah. So you come to the family as one with their son. So you are not coming to, how can I say it? You are not coming to remove the love that the son had. Right. You are not coming to remove the relationship, to cut the relationship. Your duty is to bring, to maintain the love that you have found in the family. Yes. And if there was no love, your duty is to bring the love.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So you're definitely right in sort of using the word that to be to be a thermostat, really. That you maintain the love, and when it drops, you're the one who's got to pick it up and make sure that everyone's good. So hopefully the person on Facebook there is seeing it and they're happy with that answer. So we've figured family. Let's say, me and my young wife, we bring in the scenario again. We've figured money, we've figured, how to deal with family. But there is another just a little problem that usually tends to arise in marriage. And, I grew up with members of the opposite sex, and we were best friends who grew up and, did life together from a very young age. And it's the same also for my missus. Now we're in marriage. And do I have to get rid of those friends? Do I have to not call my friend whenever and meet up with my friend because they're of the opposite sex? I mean, can my wife not do that? How do we manage those friends, especially those of the opposite sex, in marriage?
Yeah, that is a very sensitive and one of the issues that affects young marriages. Especially, you said maybe you have been in uni, you got your friends there, you were getting along with the opposite sex friends, female friends, and you are male, and then now you are married. Do you still maintain the friendship? A friendship is, maybe if we can define what is a friendship. What is a friendship to your own understanding, Charles? What do you think a friendship is?
Well,
or if you've got a friend,
Yeah. If I was to call someone my friend, I definitely would believe that definition for me would be someone I do life with. So I'm going to be there for you. If you call me and you're stuck, I'll be there for you. If you need, if you need any advice, I'll be there. If you just want to chill and hang out, and I'll be there to celebrate the highest moments in your life and the lowest, and to just naturally do life together and to be there for each other. I think for me, that would kind of define what a proper friend is for me.
Yeah, that is definitely, you are definitely right. So it's someone that you are there for them. You spend time together, you laugh together, you joke together, you do different things. You've got things in common together.
Yeah.
So now you have your wife, you are married to your wife. What is your wife? How do you describe that relationship? A relationship of a wife and a husband. What is it that is different from a friendship?
So there is none other than obviously now we've got into a deeper friendship that obviously we live together. Obviously now we are more connected in more than just friendship. So yeah, we're doing life pretty much every day together, and obviously they added the also sleeping together, etc. So yes, it's a deeper version of friendship, but she is no different to the friends that I had. But I still have my friends. This is why am I getting rid of 10 friends just because I've now got one friend who, yes, I really love and I believe is amazing, and that's why I've chosen her probably out of the 10. But why am I getting rid of the other 10 when they also loved and did laugh with me?
Yeah. It's not a matter of like the way you're saying get rid of, but are they necessary in your life now? Are they necessary? Do they fulfill something in your life now that you are married? Those friends, whether male or female, do they fulfill? If they do, you tick the boxes that they fulfill. Now remember, you are one. It's no longer you. So now that friend has to fulfill at least part of your family as well, your life together as your wife. So that person is not coming to have another part of you that is separate and is not is not going to make that other part be part of you.
Right.
So if something comes and brings the hate to your wife, will you stick because that person is my friend? So it now depends with you. You have a wife now, and you have got all those friends, and it was that time when you were hanging around and joking and playing. But now, can you bring that friend at home and joke and continue the same way you were doing? If the answer is yes, then that's fine, which means your wife is in agreement to that friend, which is fantastic, no issues. But if there is a no, then you would have to think twice about the other friend, whether the friend is still there or whether you are still sharing what you were sharing, you are still talking, you were still spending time the way you were spending time together. Let me give you an example here. When I moved to this country, I think about 2008, when I had my son, who is 12 now, my husband went to work somewhere and he met this lady. And this lady, she's from Malawi, and my husband's mom is from Malawi. So as they were chatting and discussing, the woman is married. So they were chatting, and my husband, they were chatting about home, and she said, "Oh, you are my brother, you are my sister." And they started talking to each other. And as they were talking to each other, my husband came home and told me, "I've met this lady. She's a nice lady. She's from Malawi. We were talking, and we were like his sisters, and her husband is he does this. I think he was working the council in Liverpool there." So they were talking, and then we ended up, inviting them home. But the relationship started with their husband, the wife, my husband, and that lady. And then we ended up being friends. Even now, we communicate, we visit each other. But it started there. And the thing that made my husband open up is because he knows I trust him.
Yes.
So trust is something else. You are not clinging to something that my husband doesn't want. It's trust. It's trust. So we I would say it's my husband. We joke sometimes, it's my husband's friend. It's my husband's friend, but we have that relationship. There was transparency. He had no agenda. So the other thing is, when your wife or your husband feels that this friend of yours, I don't trust them, what is it? What is the element of that which brings that doubt that I don't trust this person?
Yes.
So no one can tell you, get rid of this, get rid of this. The two of you, you are one. You open up. I open up to my husband. I have got people that I speak with, male people. And my husband, not that they are like close friends to me. Maybe I've met the person and I've worked with the person. I'm preaching the word of God to the person, or I am selling something. I am doing business, and I give that person, contacts, and we are dealing with the business. My husband is aware of those things. There is no hidden agendas.
Yes.
So it's not a straight answer. Get rid of your friends. Get rid of your friends. It depends. You and your relationship. Is that person? Does the person have anything to do with the two of you?
Yes. Yes.
So I don't know if I have answered it right. It's complicated. It just needs the two people to trust each other. And because the thing that is there that stops people from is because they don't trust you. If you are not trusted, you think, how can you have a female friend? How can you talk with a male person? There's no trust.
Wow. No, you've answered it beautifully, and you've gone into great depth of, I think, the word transparency. Kind of, really came out from, especially the example that you gave. So that was amazing. And I think you've answered it better than I could have. And I hope also our viewers felt the same as I felt. So we're just kind of coming to a close, but I want to kind of give you the floor with sort of three things that I want you to merge into one answer, kind of to highlight how difficult it is in marriage and how we kind of go around it. So here it is. So you've brought the theme of being one. You've brought the theme of transparency and communication. I think those are the three that you've brought. Now, those are amazing as, in friends, in money, and in dealing with the in-laws. How about when it comes to children and, how we deal with our children? How about when it comes to our careers? Because those are two things that I think really are quite personal, in the sense that if I've really got career ambitions and I've worked all my life to be a lawyer, and now we've come to a place where, you will want our family life to go a different way, that could be almost a deal breaker. And at the same time, the reason why I bring this same question in this place as well is children, because one might want children at a very early stage of marriage, and the other might not want children until later on in marriage. So those could be quite big arguments. I know the obvious answer should be these things should be discussed prior to marriage, but let's say, we've been foolishly in love and we've just gone ahead and not kind of dealt with these things. How would you bring it? Like, I want a common theme of basically how to solve conflicts that have got sort of personal direct interests that might have to be crushed or broken. How do I deal with those, or how do we deal with those in marriage, especially starting up?
Yeah, it's I think that should be a very, very easy question to address. If the relationship has been a relationship that is not just come from nowhere, or an arranged marriage. An arranged marriage whereby you come together and you just meet, and then you are told this is your husband, this is your wife. Now you are starting to think, what do you like, what don't you like? Those are the things that people should discuss when they are in starting, or when they are in that relationship before commitment.
Yes.
So I'm going into the marriage. I know my husband likes children, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. Things that you discuss when you are still, dating, going out. Those are the things that people should do, especially now. Us, when we grew up, I think those things you could not discuss with your boyfriend. I want children. And also, I think we grew up in that environment whereby some things could not be discussed. I don't know. Maybe others, yes, they could have. But I don't remember myself discussing with my husband about children when we were dating. But now you are living in a civilized time, you guys. You are exposed to different things. You are exposed to the current situations now, whereby raising children is not as easy as just having 20 and then your grandma looks after them back home.
Correct.
Here in this country, especially those who are in the Western countries, even in Africa still now, the way things are, you don't just, do children as accidents. Those things are planned. So those are the things that you need to sit down and discuss and come to an agreement. Your question was specifically to say if someone wants and someone doesn't want, or maybe someone wants them at a later stage. And if we have gone into a marriage without discussing those things, I think maybe that needs you to start to compromise to meet at a common ground. And still communication is key. Talk to each other, communicate, and meet halfway and agree somewhere. I'm sure people who are in love will not make that a very, very big issue, that you will think of breaking marriage because someone wants a child in 2 years time, someone wants them there and there. So those are the things that you can talk to each other, discuss, and work. But those who are not married, I just want to advise you, those are the things that you should discuss when before you make that commitment, just to chat, know each other, the likes and what my other half likes, what my other half dislikes. Then when you make a decision, knowing what you are getting really. But to those who are already in marriage, yes, it's a matter of compromising and discussing as couples to see what you like to do and to have.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You've really dropped some gems in there. Like I said, I've got a lot to take away and go, learn. And I'm sure those who are watching are exactly feeling the same sentiments as well, that there is a lot there. And, the themes that you're running through, and the last one there that you added, preparation, or whatever anyone else might want to use in exchange for that word, to say, some of these things we need to look at before we get into the marriage. And, that's amazing. So just to kind of close off the whole scene and, advise the final bit, just for all those who are maybe not yet married, what would you, now with hindsight of 25 years of marriage, just short and brief, what would you advise someone else who is maybe in your shoes, in the sense that they're now about ready to go get married, and they haven't got the 25 years behind them to think this would have been a good idea, whereas you have? What would be your final, this is the most important thing that I now with hindsight have learned?
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I'll just read this scripture to anyone who is getting into marriage, to just carry this one with you. It's Romans 13, verse 8. It says, owe no one anything except to love each other. Ooh. For the one who loves another has fulfilled the law.
Wow.
So you owe nothing but love.
Wow.
So think about it. The word of God is saying,
wow,
owe no one, meaning talking to you.
Yes.
And it's also telling you that the only thing that we have to do is to love.
Yes.
So now it's not telling you that you have to be loved.
Uh-huh.
I think that is the problem that we bring into marriages. I want to be loved. Love me, love me.
Yes.
No, you have to love. So if Charles loves and if your wife loves, then
we're good.
You are fulfilling everything. So you are doing your duty, loving, and I'm doing my duty, loving, and that covers the multitude of sin. Wow. It covers all the wrongdoings. So I come not expecting to be loved, but I come with an agenda to love.
Wow.
So when we do that, then when you talk about your ideas, I will look at them with love. When yes. you bring your proposal, I'll look at them with love, without condemnation, without, competition, without how do I fit myself there? What do I benefit? What does my family benefit? No. I'm coming there to just love.
Love.
So love is the key. Love is the key.
Wow. I mean, I don't know who else is clapping, but I'll clap definitely for that one. That was amazing. I mean, the whole interview has been great. And, thank you for bringing your pastoral experience, for bringing your personal experience and, the 25 years of experience. That's been amazing. And I'm grateful that our viewers have got to watch this and get to learn young marriage and, those who are getting into marriage and those who are already in marriage. So, Pastor Letty, thank you very much for your time. And thank you to our viewers for joining us today. We've had an awesome time with you. We hope you've learned something and you've taken something away from today's Bible study. And we'll see you next week. Pastor Letty, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. God bless.
Bye.